So we've made an effort to have 3 young people with us today. And to be honest, I have given them very little guidance. So what you hear is what they want to share. All we have told them is a little bit about Seeds of Peace, the 7 C's that you've heard about, and possibly how peace building is in their lives. And other than that, it's their choice. So
We're
this is
so
Amaris.
grateful for the youth. Thank you.
Just maybe right around that corner.
Okay. So, hi. As you guys know, my name is Amaris, and there is a biography on me, but my mom wrote that, so it's not 100% accurate. Yeah, so that's my mom over there. She's one of the advisors, or whatever you call them. Facilitators, okay. Yeah, so just really quick, what wasn't in the biography is that I am not 12. I will be 12 in 4 days, so I'm actually 11. And then next off, it did say that I'm a reader, but I am more than a reader. I am an avid fangirl, and books, while they make my life, they also ruin them with the awful cliffhangers. So Seeds of Peace is talking about peace, right? But what's one thing that prevents peace? And that's bullying. Now, bullying, it's something that almost everyone has probably experienced or witnessed in some way, and it's something for me that has been happening ever since I was little. Now, from kindergarten to 5th grade, I went to a public school, and they didn't exactly enforce as many rules as they did where I am right now. So it started maybe around when I was in 3rd grade because I really liked school. I was one of the few kids who actually enjoyed learning and sharing my answers with other people because I was proud of being smart. But what I wasn't proud of was that the mean girls were snickering every time that I answered something correctly or if I was incorrect. So there was no right or wrong answer for this. Apparently, I was just being degraded for being smart. And it really hurts your self-esteem because, you're in 3rd grade, you're 9 and 10 years old, you don't exactly understand why they're doing this to you because you don't exactly grasp the fact. Now, I remember going home and crying to my mom because I was very insecure of my own self-image at this time because it was happening constantly. It wasn't exactly bullying like that. It was just the fact that I wasn't very popular and I didn't exactly have so many friends that I could rely on. Because it was the bullying that I didn't really feel like I could fit in anywhere. So that's one of the reasons that I read. I read to get away, to be in a new life, so that I could be somewhere else and I could make my own worlds where I was actually appreciated. Now, another thing was that at around the end of 4th grade, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. I have ADHD, dyslexia, and a little bit of ASD. Not very much, but just the signs where I've got a little bit of hand-eye coordination awkwardness, and that really affected me in PE. Because at this school for PE, we were graded on our skill for how athletic we were, and since I wasn't very athletically built, I was often getting some of the lowest scores in the classroom, and it actually went so far as my teacher saying that he saw kindergartners run faster than me.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was really, really affected by that. I remember my mom writing and the teacher eventually apologizing to me a week later after he realized that it had actually affected me. But I was still being bullied. In 1st grade, I always had to work with the most intelligently not the best students, and I would often get not as many rewards as the other students when I couldn't teach the students. So I was practically tutoring a 1st grader as a 1st grader. So I was actually being used. I just didn't know because I was so innocent and naive, and I didn't think that anyone would actually do that to me. So that was that. And then in 5th grade, my mom was fighting for my rights because apparently when you go to a public school, if you're one of the top students in the class or you're not failing, apparently that counts as not needing what you're supposed to get. So we always had to copy things down for our lessons, and I never got extra time. I would often take longer because I would read sentences wrong. I would mix up the words, which is another thing why I read so that I would get better. But of course, it still affected me. I would mix up some numbers in math, even though it was my favorite subject. So I never really got the help that I needed until around the middle of 5th grade. And that was only one thing that I had to go and meet with this special counselor lady who I really did not like. Because come on, what child wants to spill all of their secrets to someone who they've known for 5 seconds? So, but actually what was the worst part was that I didn't really know when she was gonna come. So normally she would actually just come into my classroom and then personally take me out. And do you know, so I always was questioned, why was that person taking you out? Why are they And it was especially during this one time where we had these big presentations, right? And during these presentations, one student was in Japan, so she hardly did any work, and another person hardly did any work as well. So I had to do almost 300% of the work, and I was often taken out during those presentation times when we presented to the class. So that one girl who hardly knew anything, she was the one who had to present. And even though I tried desperately explaining it to her, she hardly ever got it because she wasn't exactly as dedicated as I was. So not only when she presented and I wasn't there was she affecting what people thought of her, but she was affecting my image and saying that our group didn't work as hard as other people who worked. So that was really disappointing to me as a whole, and my teacher didn't really understand it. My counselor still insisted upon taking me out, so instead it changed to lunch, but I was on flag football, so guess what? I ended up kind of almost missing the final game that I was in too, because I had to go to those talking sessions. So honestly, I did appreciate the help, but it took forever to get, and it didn't exactly help me, because I didn't get any help in academics. It was just my mental state, but I already had a psychologist, so I didn't really get the meaning for that. So then in 6th grade, I transferred to a private school, and I had really high expectations because they did give me the help that I deserved. I was really thankful for that. I got extra time on essays that I had to write. I was allowed to take it home even if we only got one class period. I'm getting like 1.5 as much times on testing that I needed. The school is really covering everything that I need, but there was only one thing that they slipped past, and that was the bullying. So what happened was I was maybe a couple weeks in, and I had found these people that I really trusted. So I told the one that I trusted the most about my dyslexia, just 2 of them, not all of them, and she didn't tell. She's very loyal to me, and we're still good friends today, even though I don't hang out with her as much. But what I'm assuming is that someone overheard, and then it spread around that I had dyslexia, and guess what people called it? A disease. So so apparently not being right inside means that means that you have a disease. So I was really, really affected by that. And I really don't want to try now, but it was really affecting who I was. I came to that school wanting to be different, and I was just teased even more, and I'm fine, Mom, don't worry. But, yeah, but actually there's a little more, but it even went so far as one boy calling me retarded, and that really affected me because I actually was arguing with him during a class project that I had to be with, and apparently since I was arguing with him, my teacher called that flirting. Yeah, so soon everyone thought that I liked this boy, who in reality I really, really, really hated, to the ends of the earth kind of hate. So apparently we were perfect together, and people went so far as saying that we got married. So I was seriously really upset with that. Even I was in speech at that time too, right? And I even met this one really nice girl, and she actually said that she thought that I would be one of those popular girls because my name was spreaded around this grade, 6th grade. And I was really upset by that because it was really affecting who I was. So all throughout my years, my image has really been affected. And now it's more stable because the bullying has pretty much subsided. I'm still not on very good terms with those people, but who would? And I do have I am with more friends who have experienced or can at least be really good sympathizers. So I have my sister in crime, I've got our group around us, our avid reader, fangirl groups, we're all crazy, but oh well, because we all love each other. And so now I'm really happy for where I am now, but it took me almost a year to even talk to my parents about what was going on, because I didn't really want to admit that this was actually happening, that actually went through to me. So this is what bullying actually does, and now I'm okay, but I'm still getting really sad from the memories about who I actually wasn't that other people thought that I was. So that's me.